We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the... two we already have.
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only 2 of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Patrick?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours? We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us. Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal, another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now. You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
I've occasionally had my doubts about Constellation as an investment. But now, well, it's clearly money well spent.
Feel free to help yourself at the bar. I don't drink, but I feel like if I did, now would be a good time for one. Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us. Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust? I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, if the label fits. It has to be, right? All of this is connected. We just need to figure out how and why. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts. Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation. Take care of yourself.
Well, I suppose calling you a rock break. Goodbye. Well, I suppose calling you a rock... Until next time. Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line. Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard. Yes, well, a stocked bar is a treat I think Constellation can afford. For now. But if you clean us out, you're on your own. By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need. Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the lodge home as much as anywhere else. Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here. I do have other things that require my attention, you know. Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you? Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar, in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years. We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud-Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud-Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days. Remember, you're representing all of us out there.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then. That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noel. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
At present, all systems are functioning well within...
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently.
Of course.
Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this. Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon. He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people report in these situations. I'm not saying you didn't really see anything, just that it's really hard to determine after the fact. That's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right? Oh, gosh. No, I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us. Of course, there's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet. Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition, I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're gonna be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep. Great, let's see what you have. Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour.
I hope you're still glad you joined Constellation, Noel.
Absolutely, Sarah. I've never regretted the decision.
I'm glad to hear it. You could have done just about anything, so it's important to me that you feel valued here.
It's not always easy, but I just remind myself that if it weren't for you...
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
Yes?
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too. Stay safe, okay?
last time you went up to see Vladimir?
I haven't needed to go up there in a bit. Why?
Oh, I just don't know how he does it. Up there all alone.
Some people love that kind of stuff. Funny him.
What can I help you with? So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else? Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do. I don't know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways. We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel. We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually, but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising. A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to. We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together. You've done this before, eh? Wise words. If we watch each other's backs, we'll be fine. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry. You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have. My contact is John Tuala. I believe you've already met. Runs the Vanguard recruiting office. He sent word that there's a vanguard in the Sol system who picked up an item recently. Unusual metallic construction. Sound familiar? His name is Moara. We'll need to head over to Mars and see if anyone knows where he is. I'm sure the local bartenders there must know something. Ready to head out there? Or did you still... Go ahead. Just don't take... Ready to head out there? Or did you... I think you might...
I am at your service, Captain.
Mind bunking on the ship, but nothing is better than unwinding in your own quarters.
Please let me know. You won't find a larger array of options in all the settled systems, I guarantee you. I will tell you a secret. I'm not sure anyone really does. Some act like they have it all figured out, and I admit I am guilty of that myself from time to time. There are, I suppose, a few actively trying to steer the herd, but most are just content to run at the front of the pack and act like they know where it's going. At the end of the day, you must feel comfortable in what you wear. If it speaks to you, what anyone else thinks doesn't matter. You'll find that I have most everything. I'm glad you came in.
Oh my god! Congratulations!
To be honest, I can't believe it's already been that long. Time really flies.
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance?
I've passed by this particular tree many times, and honestly, I never gave it a second thought. Does it hold some sort of special significance?
Finally, somebody understands. Unless, wait. You're not mocking me, right? People. Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me? Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
It's amazing to think that this tree predates New Atlantis. Can you imagine all the changes it's seen?
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits. Boo! Did I scare you?
Bulk items may require multiple levels of approval and can take up to several weeks for an official response. We apologize for any delay. Welcome to UC Distribution. Now, before you say a word, I have been told it'll be up and running in 2 weeks, but also, if you're here about a corporate account, I've been assured that deliveries will... You mean besides providing a pleasant face for customers to interact with? It's all in the name. We distribute materials and products all around the United Colonies. Never a dull moment. Always something going on, and 4 other things we need to be ready for. I know some people don't believe it, but we really do the best we can. Wouldn't still be working here if I didn't care. Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why? What is it? That so? Must mean something to you if you came looking for it. Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room. I'd have to walk back there, then back out here. You're the one who said it was junk. If that's true, why bother coming back for it at all? Suit yourself. I hope we have what you need. Back to it, then.
You can't just walk off with that.
Welcome to UC Distribution. Well, pleasure doing business. You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
Any luck tracking down those sensors?
I need all of the biosensors if the data is to be of any use.
Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid, to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this, if it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. If the time comes, I will certainly attempt to alert the appropriate people en masse. If I have more data, though, my concerns might carry some more weight. I appreciate your confidence. The sooner I have all the available data, the sooner I can make an assessment. So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right. We'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Relief. Now, let's see. This is... Well, it's... Oh my. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to MAST immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Yes, it does feel good to be right. Particularly when others have attempted to convince you otherwise. Repeatedly. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in MAST at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
Ready to head out there? Okay.
These findings are alarming.
Feeling to taste day. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. I feel underdressed.
imagine how many credits flow through this place? Figuratively, of course.
Now, listen, I have a lot on my plate right now, and you don't look like a new hire stumbling through their first day. Who exactly are you? Constellation? As in the elusive and mysterious constellation. Oh, wow. I used to read stories about you guys when I was a kid. Wow. Oh, this is perfect. Kismet, really. I have a business proposition for you that could help us both out. Very lucrative. So you see right through me. You've got a good eye. You are just the person I'm looking for. Well, confession time. I might just be a little desperate. See, the world of credit analysis, dealing with deadbeats and reprobates is, well, it's a tough field. And what I need is a ringer, someone that can collect some of our top delinquent offenders. What I need is you. You work with me, and the fee you get will be huge. Oh, I can tell you're eager. That's good. But we'll start small and work our way up to the worst offenders. If you haven't noticed, and I'm guessing you have, the settled systems is big. Like really big. Someone gets seriously underwater, they skip the system. And it's a real pain to track them down. Sad truth is, we can't track everyone down, so credit analysis always has a black eye when reporting to the higher-ups. Yes! So, we got a Galaxy-class con man took out a loan to franchise a restaurant. Turns out, surprise, it was a scam, and Dieter Maliki jumps system. Now, he's holed up in a literal shack in the middle of nowhere. Can you believe it? The job is simple. Get Dieter to pay. And we don't want him dead, we don't want him hurt. Just close his account like an honest citizen. If he dies, then his assets go to probate, and we can get paid. So if he forces you into an it's you or him situation, it's A-okay for Galbank's bottom line if you choose him. But I cannot stress this enough. This is not the ideal outcome. We wanted him liquidated, we'd have put a tracker on him. Well, you may need to lean on him, scare him. Nothing illegal, just talk to him. And don't listen to any sob stories he tells you. Any job I give you, I guarantee there's not some poor sick aunt that needs credits for surgery. These are scofflaws, scum, flagrantly violating the terms of their Galbank agreements. Well, I mean, yes, we're not the only ones looking for him. And you don't dome up on a dust ball unless you're serious about dodging your civic responsibilities. I'll send over all the details. You find Dieter and bring his account current.
Decided to take a break from exploring to collect some debts? Not exactly Constellation-worthy pastime, but I'll follow your lead.
I hate to end on this note, but, not everyone's a straight arrow. If you cut a deal with Dieter, honestly, I have no way of knowing. But don't expect any more jobs from me. Best of luck. I believe in you. Good luck out there. I mean it. We have to try. Every time someone skips out, those credits just don't go away. Those are credits that could have been a loan for a mom and pop try. Or they could take a bite out of our share prices. I mean, all sorts of retirement. I know it seems, well, hopeless. Absolutely. We make sure that our reputation is flawless, so people can depend on us to invest for their future. True, collections isn't the most glamorous part of the bank. Right, small home in the Olympus system, right? There's a balance on that property. Argos Extractors negotiated a very fine loan for you. There are weekly payments, but if you miss a payment, no big deal. It's a pay-as-you-go type of affair. But I think we'd all be happier if you dealt with the mortgage one way or the other. Certainly. So there are two ways to take care of a loan for good. One's easy. Just pay off the balance, then the house is yours, free and clear, and you are one very happy new homeowner. The other option, less ideal, is just walk away and we foreclose on the property. That is a chunk of change, to be sure. But we don't do partial payments. Sorry, it's in the contract. If you get the money, though, we're happy to settle the mortgage for good. You have a good day. Together we can really... Certainly. So there are two... One's easy, just the other option, less ideal. Absolutely. Take off.
By the way, Captain,
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick on the gnat.
A diplomatic visa? You got to be kidding me. Envoys haven't needed diplomatic visas since the Colony War.
The law's the law, sir. And that one's still on the books. New Atlantis Security Charter 2308 Addendum, Article 2, Section 8.
Ludicrous. You made all that up. There is no such addendum. The war ended almost...
By Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! I can't believe it! Is it you? Is it really, really you? Captain of the frontier, bane of the fleet, constellation's shining star of stars. Oh, you are definitely the brightest, biggest star in any constellation. There's no maybes about it. I have an eye for these things. Not that you're hard to see with that halo on your head. Although at first, I wasn't sure if it was just the glare. But now that I know it's you, what are the odds? And to think, but I changed my routine. I know, right? And you can try to fight destiny, but although, if I'm being honest, I'd wager you could beat just about anything. Either way, it's such an honor to meet you. Hey, do you mind if I... What am I saying? You're a hero! You won't be disappointed!
How are you?
What? Can't you see it? I apologize for snapping. No, I've got work to do at the embassy. And our overly diligent claims I need a diplomatic visa, which I have never needed before in all the... Oh, really? And here I am biting your head off. Look, if you have time, could you please go to the Freestyle Collective Embassy? Thank you. I'll wait here until the embassy sends the cavalry.